His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. No, I kind of love it, but I'm like, us for it?
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
Akaash Singh's wife just ended his career. And the wildest part, she did it on a podcast that barely gets 1,000 views. We're talking about a guy who co-hosts one of the biggest comedy podcasts on the internet. Flagrant pulls millions of views per episode. He's performed for sold-out crowds. He's built a brand around calling out weak men in relationships.
What I don't like, what I find corny as fuck, is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period. It's just, those are your roots.
And in less than 48 hours, his wife turned him into the biggest joke on the internet. The clip compilations hit different. Millions of views, comment sections going nuclear. Every major commentary channel is covering it. His wife's podcast clips went viral. Millions of views, thousands of comments, and every single one was calling him the same thing: doormat, simp. But here's what makes this different from your typical internet drama. This was years of content, a slow motion car crash that everyone saw coming except the guy in the driver's seat. And when it finally exploded, it took everything with it: his reputation, his brand, his entire online presence. Let's start with who Akaash Singh actually is. 40-year-old comedian from Texas, Indian American, started doing stand-up in college, spent years grinding through the comedy circuit like every other comic trying to make it.
My wife is objectively gorgeous. Me, nah. So that's what you gotta do. I gotta work my ass off, and then every time she starts looking at me and she starts assessing my beauty, I just throw a bag at that bitch. Chest pass!
In 2018, he linked up with Andrew Schulz, another comedian who'd been building serious momentum through YouTube. They launched a podcast called Flagrant.
This is no white people around Indians.
Bro, and there's minutia that, like, I don't
That was
like.
one of the girls on it?
Yeah, hilarious. There's like little...
Yo, son, Minutia was the shit.
Yeah, she was hot.
Minutia. She was one of them.
No, absolutely not.
The show blew up. By 2025, they're sitting at 2 million subscribers. Guest list includes everyone from politicians to UFC fighters to major internet personalities.
I call him, his name is Jack. I call him TikTok Jack. I'm good with names, you know.
You are.
You're very good with
You are,
it.
you are.
And Pocahontas.
Yeah.
We have names.
I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, but I'm also a huge. I'm a New Yorker, so.
He might be loyal to you. He might be loyal to you if you didn't run him off his corner.
if you didn't run him off
It'd probably be all love.
Nah, you saved my life. I probably would have.
Akaash became known for a specific type of comedy, roasting couples in the audience during his stand-up, making jokes about relationships, calling out guys for being too soft with their girlfriend.
What do you do, man? You must make money. That's a front if I've ever heard it. He owns his own business. You know how I knew? Not just because you're good, because you got all these buttons unbuttoned. That's rich man's confidence. That's a reasonable unbutton right there.
His whole brand was built on this idea, and a huge part of that brand, his perfect marriage. He talked about his wife constantly, Jasleen, how she was different from other women, how she was pure, how they both waited until marriage.
She was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sure. Did you lie, or did you come right out and say like, oh, me too? Or was it, what did that conversation go like?
I don't remember how it came. I think she said it.
Blacked out?
She said it, and then I was like...
When she said, I'm a virgin, you went, your heart exploded?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he got happy. He said nothing to compare to.
The narrative was clean, traditional values. None of that modern dating chaos that he'd roast other guys for getting caught up in. They got married in July 2021. Big traditional wedding. The internet loved them. Here was a guy who seemed to have figured it all out. Successful career, beautiful wife, traditional relationship in a world where everyone's getting divorced. But there was a problem brewing. Jasleen had her own ambitions. In 2023, Jasleen launched her own podcast with her friend Nahal Tanani. They called it Main Character. The concept seemed harmless. 2 married women talking about life, marriage, relationships, standard podcast stuff.
Sometimes when your husband is on the road so much, you kind of get used to like that personal space. And I must say, like, I just become lazier like when my husband's around. Like, do you experience that?
Akaash supported it. He probably thought it'd be cute. Pull a few thousand subscribers. Give her something to do.
Here's what I'll say. I don't have icks about my wife in the sense that, like, everything she does is really cute to me. Do I have things that are a massive pain in my ass? Yes, absolutely. That I am. I love her. She's so adorable.
What he didn't anticipate was that his wife had absolutely zero filter. The early episodes started normal enough. Relationship advice, marriage tips, talking about life as a stay-at-home wife.
Was it like not letting you go out with your girlfriends, like that kind of stuff, like wanting to know where you were all the time, getting jealous?
Yeah, it was a combination of everything. It was very sick.
Okay.
There was moments where he would jump on the rooftop saying, I'm gonna jump off this rooftop if you don't tell me if you love me.
Oh my God.
But slowly the mask started slipping. Jasleen began talking about her college years. She discussed threesomes, spicy thoughts, her attraction to other men, specifically her co-host's husband.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking.
We hate you.
I guess
we respect
we
you.
love you, but I actually love you and want to fuck all of you.
She made jokes about finances.
Any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a fucking red flag. And I will say it again because I know there's going to be already like incel troll.
She complained about having to celebrate Akaash's birthday because she's used to being treated like a princess every single day.
Every year I dread it because I have to be nice the whole day and I have to get him something. And I have to also be nice and do like acts of kindness.
She's really not okay with it.
She said that twice?
She's really not okay with it.
And then came the nuclear bomb. She started talking about her romantic history in detail on a podcast.
Made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like was a little sore.
Oh my God.
And I remembered that he like, I would like try to me and my, I'm like, first of all, we were not on those like terms.
While her husband had spent years telling everyone, including his millions of followers, that they were both virgins when they met.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this.
And
Do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I remember I was just like, what? But she was like, she was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
The clip started circulating in small corners of the internet, Reddit threads, Twitter posts, but nothing major. Some of the post reads, "She's a terrible friend, terrible wife. Who the F talks like this about their friend's significant other and their husband? WTF is this?" I felt secondhand embarrassment from all parties involved and they were just laughing. This wasn't even entertaining, it was so cringe. Until November 2025. That's when Myron Gaines decided to get involved. To understand what happened next, you need to understand the history between Akaash and Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit is a podcast run by Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks. They're part of the manosphere, that whole red pill, dating advice, men's self-improvement ecosystem.
Reality is we are a minority compared to all the other idiots out there that push out propaganda that makes women feel better about themselves.
Back in January 2022, Fresh and Fit appeared on Flagrant, and it did not go well. Akaash spent the entire episode clowning on them, challenging their beliefs, making them look ridiculous in front of Flagrant's massive audience.
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with, I don't disagree with what Andrew said. The way I look at it is, you watch them fucking, you see them evolutionary charts from Neanderthal to Homo sapien.
Yeah.
Y'all are the first motherfucker out of Neanderthal. But grow with your audience. Mature with your audience as you work on yourselves and add some nuance to what you're saying.
The Fresh and Fit fans were pissed. They went after Akaash online. They created a whole podcast to showcase to the world that they've never done anything to grow and attract what they want in life. Akaash's wife that morning, "Honey, you better go kick their ass or don't come home." Telling guys who make $30,000 a year and under how to avoid gold diggers is so funny. For years, the two podcasts had beef, subtle shots, indirect comments, but nothing major. Until Myron saw the main character clips. On November 6th, 2024, a compilation video of Jasleen's most outrageous podcast moments hit YouTube. Nothing new, these types of videos had been circulating for months.
Have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, it went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money! Okay?
I don't know if you watch The Boys, but I love him on The Boys.
But in the comment section, Myron Gaines left 2 words: time to cook. And cook he did. The video went nuclear, and the clips were devastating. There was Jasleen dodging Akaash's kiss at their wedding, at their actual wedding.
That feeling has increased where I feel even more love love from him than I ever thought.
There was Jasleen talking about being objectively attractive and how men assume Akaash couldn't have gotten her naturally.
So my husband actually interviewed these red pill guys on their podcast one time, and I won't mention their names because who the fuck even cares? Because I'm like objectively attractive. You know, they were saying that we couldn't possibly have got together in a natural kind of way, or like in the wild, like it must have been an arranged marriage. Like that's where that whole arranged marriage rumor started.
There was Jasleen saying she'd divorce him if he asked for a prenup, while also saying prenups are red flags.
Is it just me, or is the idea of asking a girl to sign a prenup incredibly offensive? And only one way. Like if I asked someone to sign a prenup, then I would be like, yeah, can you just sign this prenup because like I don't want to like lose all my money. But then like if a guy asked me to sign a prenup, I would be like,
The internet lost its mind. Commentary channels picked it up, drama channels, even mainstream outlets started covering it. The comment sections everywhere were brutal. People calling Akaash a doormat, saying he destroyed his own brand, that he'd become the exact type of guy he used to roast in his comedy. And then Sneeko jumped in. Sneeko reacted to the viral clip on his stream.
sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
Maybe the red pill's not dead. Yo, bro, this is
But here's where it gets worse. Akaash was on vacation when this exploded. He was in India with Jasleen, actually renewing their vows.
Since I am renewing my vows, I think the only thing we can do is propose again. Jasleen Singh, will you be Jasleen Singh forever again?
The timing couldn't have been worse. Back in New York, Andrew Schulz and the other Flagrant hosts had to address it. They recorded an episode without Akaash, and you could tell they wanted to roast him so bad.
Obviously, we want to talk about what's going on, but we don't feel right talking about without him here. So once he's back, we're going to have that conversation. I'm sure that will be spirited.
Climate change.
Yo, climate change is crazy, man.
But on their Patreon episode, they apparently went off. The footage was blurred, audio censored. They were clearly saying things they knew Akaash wouldn't want public. Because here's the thing, Flagrant has spent years roasting guys in these exact situations. And now, their co-host was the poster child for everything they'd been making fun of. People were writing comments like, Andrew literally warned him about her. And now look. It's obvious Andrew has been waiting for this moment for years. Bro is soaking it all in. The Flagrant comment section became a war zone. People were asking about it, demanding answers, calling Akaash out. Watch Akaash start selling out huge arenas now after this public humiliation ritual. The brand had been damaged, and everyone knew it. After all this, Jasleen finally spoke up.
You mad at us? Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the fuck he wants about me.
But viewers thought the explanation felt flat and did not match the tone of the backlash. And when Akaash finally came back and addressed it, the response was pathetic. He went on stage at his first comedy show after the drama, and according to people who were there, he spent half the set defending his wife, telling people she was joking, that it was all taken out of context. He was doing damage control, and the audience could feel it. The energy was off. The confidence was gone. On TikTok, Jasleen's response was even worse. She made a video explaining that she doesn't like PDA. That's why she dodges his kisses.
And then I'll also respond to the people saying I don't like my husband because I turned away from a kiss. I've never liked PDA. Physical touch, I find it really overstimulating.
Except, she spends her entire podcast talking about intimacy, about fantasies, about other men. But a kiss from her husband? Too much.
So it's something we kind of work through in high stress situations because I get overstimulated when a lot of things are happening, and like my mother-in-law is there, my mom is there, and Akaash will tend to kiss me when there's a lot of people around and stuff.
The excuses didn't land. If anything, they made it worse because now it was about the pattern. People started going back through old content, finding more moments, more red flags, more times where Jasleen had disrespected him on camera while he just smiled and took it.
Okay, so I think things that don't work in our marriage is my husband breathing or talking or having any opinion whatsoever, because it actually annoys the shit out of me. Yeah.
His clothes made my clothes so smelly.
The smell is unreal because The balls. No offense to the homeless people, but like, you know when you get on the subway and there's like a homeless person sleeping and like everyone has to get out of that car?
Yeah.
That's what my husband's balls.
When Akaash surprised her with an upgraded wedding ring, easily tens of thousands of dollars, and all she could talk about was the size of the diamond. She didn't even kiss him, just examined the rock.
Take that drinky thing off. Drink eating.
Did you guys know this? Yes. Oh my God.
Every clip painted the same picture. A woman who didn't respect her husband. A woman who was with him for the lifestyle, not the love. And a man who was so desperate to keep her that he'd tolerate anything.
Do I have things that are a massive pain in my Yes, absolutely. That I have. I love her. She's so adorable. When she's running 2 hours late to a dinner reservation that I worked really hard to get, and then I'm like, baby, we're running late. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me?
And worst of all, if they get divorced, Jasleen gets half. She openly bragged about not having a prenup, about how his money is their money. Akaash has spent years building his career, the podcast, the stand-up tours, the brand deals. And now it's all at risk because his wife wanted to be an influencer. But the reality is more complicated. He's a product of the same system that's affecting millions of young men online. A system that tells you to be alpha, to be in control, to never show weakness. Akaash didn't create that system. He just figured out how to profit from it until it turned on him. And that's the real story here. The algorithm won't show you this side of the story, so subscribe to stay ahead of what's really happening. And if you think this story is extreme, you need to see what we uncovered about Clavicular, a 19-year-old who's taken this exact system to its darkest conclusion.